I've been very involved at the law school level of creating pipeline programs. When I was the dean at Irvine, we worked with several school districts, the Santa Ana, the Garden Grove, and the Anaheim school districts. All of these are school districts where over 95% of the students are students of color, primarily Latinx students. And we ran a program 6 Saturdays in the fall for 50 students and 6 Saturdays in the spring for 50 students. We did it all the years that I was there, and I know the program continues. It can show statistically that students who participate in the program were much more likely to stay in school and much more likely to go to college. I'm not claiming a causal relationship, but I do think those programs matter. We created a program for college students. These were college students from economically disadvantaged backgrounds. We defined that as twice the poverty level or less. It was predominantly students of color. And we ran it in the summer for these students. Those who completed it got a free LSAT preparation course. And then we saw the participants' programs literally go to law schools all over the country. Just this week, one of our first-year law students came up to me and said she had first met me when I was at Irvine, and she participated in the pre-law outreach program. Now, I'm focusing on law schools because that's where I am, but I think it's really essential that colleges create these kinds of pipeline and outreach programs, that four-year colleges work with community colleges, that four-year colleges and community colleges work with high school students. We've just created at Berkeley a law program for high school students. About 50 students came this summer. It was a residential program. All of this is about creating a pipeline. A second thing that college universities can do is create race-neutral proxies to achieve diversity. Let me give examples by what I mean about this. The University of Texas created a top 10% plan. Now it's a top 6% plan, where they would take the top 10% of all public high schools in the state. Texas, sadly, like most states, is sufficiently racially segregated that a top 10% plan will achieve a measure of diversity. This is facially race neutral. It never says anything about race. There's a case now pending in the United States Court of Appeals for the First Circuit about magnet schools in Boston that took students on the basis of zip code. Given residential segregation of neighborhoods, if you take students based on zip code, you're going to achieve racial diversity. It's possible that the Supreme Court will find that this is impermissible. It's possible that the Supreme Court will say that this has a racially disparate impact and a racially disparate intent. But to this point, there's nothing from the Supreme Court that disapproves of schools finding race-neutral proxies to achieve diversity. Justice Sotomayor, in her dissenting opinion in the Harvard College case, said, for example, colleges, universities can continue to be able to, doing admissions decisions, to give benefits to students from economically disadvantaged families. And that's, again, a way in which to achieve a measure of diversity.